Hey you guys, Dani here. So I could not wait. I could not wait to share this oracle with you guys. I had mentioned it in my oracle collection. This is something that I got in January, and it is absolutely gorgeous. So this is Goddess on Earth Oracle. GoddessOnEarth.com. This is by Lisa Levart. I think that's how you say her last name. This is all the information. So Lisa sent this to me so graciously, and I have to say this gave me like a literal gut reaction looking at this deck. I am so impressed. Everything is so luxurious. As far as like the touch and feel, everything is like, I don't know, it's like soft touch, almost like rose petal finish. We have a really nice box. They fit in here really well. It's got a ribbon to come up and off. So let's put this box aside and take a look at this. So we'll put the guidebook here. We'll talk about that in a bit. So it's got kind of a matte finish gilding on it. So it's not like that shiny, sticky kind of gilding. It's like a coppery color. These are the backs. So they're not, I mean, oracles usually aren't reversible, but these are the backs. Now they're out of order because I've been playing with this deck quite a bit. So we're just going to flow with it and go with it where it is. So these have some amazing keywords. I really want to study this deck. It's got, as you can see, different borders for the different elements. And they have so many different ideas represented. So many different bodies and ages and just amazing concepts. Especially for photorealistic decks, I am incredibly in love with this thus far. It just has a really, really deep feel to it. It's like the best way I could describe it. It was like a gut reaction seeing some of these photos. We do have a few animals, as you can see. Really great keywords. That clarity of vision, I love that. Playful creativity, super cute. Sorry, that was my drawer. I love this photo. And honestly, it really reminds me of some of the things that I see in the Somnia Tarot. And I would really love to work with these side by side, having the photorealism and, I don't know, just the like really shadowy. Not that this is a dark deck per se, like the vibe isn't dark, but like the colors are dark and deep. Sitting alongside that Somnia Tarot, which I'll pull it out. We'll look at them together. I just feel like it would give some really solid readings, especially the more like, I don't want to say like somber, but sort of somber and sober type readings. I feel like they would really flow well together. So I'd really like to see them side by side. We're going to pull that out. I haven't used this with anything yet. I've literally just been pulling cards and just kind of working with it alone by itself. So, I love this. Expect abundance. I have to say, Lisa's eye for photography is breathtaking. Like, she really knows how to capture and embody these goddesses, these archetypes into these cards. It's amazing. Love that. Stand in your power. Got that crone energy going. And some just look so ethereal. The body knows. This is one of my favorite as well. Like the keywords are just, oh, these are turned around. The keywords are just so wonderfully done. Face the dark. Another one of my favorites. It just looks so in your face. You know what I mean? Like when I look at this, I see kind of that goddess of war, right? A huntress. Amazing. So let's kind of take a look at the guidebook and what it entails. This is one that I plan to read cover to cover. So we have beautiful glossy pages. It is a black and white text with the picture beside each. We have, again, kind of the cards. We have earth, water, fire. I skipped one. Earth, water, air, fire, spirit, and creatures. Kind of all the different spaces. We have an intro, how to use it. We have it all structured here. The creatures are a little bit of a bonus here, and included in the booklet, you will find 3 sections for each card: the attribute, perspective, and action. In here we have 1 card spread, 3 card spread, and then an elemental. And then we go into the cards. So we have this beautiful kind of story, and then each one, and then we have along the side earth, and then on top it shows the goddess represented. So I thought that was really cool. Then we have water, and you can see it's all done here on the sides. We have air, fire, spirit, and then our creatures. Like I said, we do have a few little creatures coming in here, which I love. And then about the artist, about the women featured. So it's got a really, really great guidebook. We have a credits in the back. And then we have a goddess index. So all of our goddesses kind of broken down, or things kind of broken down. Our earth has the creation story. Water, we see Aphrodite. Fire, we see Pele. You know, just like all of our stuff kind of broken down after the women. So let's go ahead and pull a card, and we will read one of these entries. Oh, look, yay, it's that one. Okay, so actualize ideas. This is in fire, if I'm not mistaken. Here we are. Okay, I went look it up because I wanted to make sure that I pronounced it correctly, and I found Sherawali, so hopefully that's correct. It was kind of hard to find. So, attributes. Sherawali is a warrior incarnation of Durga, a fearless Hindu goddess who symbolizes power in all its forms. Traditionally, she is illustrated with 8 arms sitting astride a tiger or lion. Her capacity for action speaks for itself. In classical painting, she is often depicted with 3 eyes. Durga's left eye represents the desire to act, her central eye the capacity to follow through with one's desires, and her third eye symbolizes the action itself. Perspective. This is Francisca Kelly. It has been a privilege to be a key protagonist in the renaissance of the Marwari horse. The confidence to actualize ideals, to remain unimpeachable, and to incorporate the qualities of Sherawali, even at the best of times, is a battle and sacrifice all must experience. Action. Actualize ideas. Sitting astride her muscular warrior horse, Sherawali is contained, grounded, and ready. Are you prepared to go to battle for your dreams, principles, and aspirations? Now that you have the desire and the capacity, it is time to follow through. Grab the reins and commit to what you know to be true and right. So I really, really love the way that this is done. This Francisca Kelly, I believe back here we can see a little bit about who these women are. And these are the women who are portraying see right here, is the founder of Indigenous Heart Society of India, a non-profit, non-government organization working for the conservation, preservation, recognition, betterment, and improvement of the indigenous breeds of horses of India. And it gives their website. And so all of these women who are pictured and seen throughout have a connection in some way to what is being presented, which I think is absolutely wonderful. Like, this was done in a beautiful, beautiful way. And on top of this, I have to show you guys what was sent to me. And then we'll kind of look at maybe some pairings that I'm looking to pair this with. I really plan on doing a lot of research and reading into this whole deck as we go. And I'm going to shuffle and stuff, but I have to show you this first. Let me move this out of the way because this is take up a lot of area. Look at this book. You guys, it is beautiful. So this is the portraits of the divine feminine that Lisa did. And these women. See, I know this is such a large book on such a small area. So let's see if we can get our eyes on it. You guys, this is a beautiful, beautiful book. And it says here with the dedication, I dedicate this book to all the women who have shared their divine light with me. How beautiful is that? So you can see these are broken down into maiden, mother, and crone, which I think is a beautiful way to do that. But look at these pictures. Look at this. All of these women embodying these goddesses. It is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. No lie. Look at this. Again, so many cultures, so many beautiful, beautiful women. This picture just stole my heart. Number one of my favorite goddess statues. But, I mean, the beauty of just these amazing women. Oh, isn't she beautiful? Like, I cannot recommend this enough. If you can get your hands on it, if you can take a look at this, it is absolutely beautiful. And then, of course, we have the myths at the end. So the sacred maiden myths. So everyone that we're kind of seeing being embodied is here. Like, I cannot stress enough how amazing this is done. Look at these stunning pictures. Oh, I just love it. I absolutely love it. So I had to show you guys this real quick because I was blown away by this being added to my package. I had no idea this was coming, and it really touched me on such a deep level to see these beautiful portraits and read all about them. And this is something else that I'm planning to read cover to cover because it was just stunning. So back to our deck. We're gonna go plain table. Let's shuffle. Look at this. The movement, even though these cards are bigger, they're like standard oracle. So like, I'm assuming, what is it, like 3x5? It is a standard oracle size, but they move so well. And there is this rose petally kind of matte finish on them. And when I tell you they still shuffle really well, they're not sticky when it comes to shuffling at all. But of course, granted, I'm not the best fanner in the world, but of course fanning something with a rose petal finish is not very easy in general. You can still get it to move fairly well. It's not something that I normally do, so I'm not super bothered by it, but you can get it fanned pretty well. And then hand over hand, I find works just as well as with anything else. Again, this rose petal is not very sticky. I find like some of them are a bit more sticky. This really flows. It really moves. Let's look at a few pairs before we close this up. Okay, so I got a few. A few. Let's take a look first at this because I like had a whole epiphany with this. This beautiful goddess deck with the divine masculine. OMG. Let's do this. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I'm definitely going to pair these two together 100%. That divine masculine along with the divine feminine in this beautiful balance of colors and depth of these cards. And they almost feel similar. Like this is more rose petal-y than these are, but it still has the same vibe. Oh my gosh. I love this. I love this. Not only because it's a balance between masculine and feminine, but also just the deep dark colors that it presents. I really think this is going to read beautifully together. What about Majestic Earth? Oh, we have this like Gaia style energy with the Majestic Earth anyway. And then we pair it with these beautiful goddesses. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Just the color palette. The whole feel of what you're seeing. Just like out in nature in general. Kind of what it feels like and what it looks like. It's just everything kind of corresponds. And you can see the whole majesty of what's being taken in here. And I really love that. Oh my goodness. Look at this. So we have the Steward of Clouds with the moon and then hear the cries. But look at the keywords here. We have visions along with like observant and then hear the cries. Like look, see, feel. Oh my gosh. Okay. So Majestic Earth, another win. Most definitely. Another one that I thought would really fit. New Chapter Tarot. Look at them. With these lighter on the sides of this dark kind of color, I still feel like their moods still flow together. Look at all the purple. It's like the colors are still there, just lighter and darker tones. And then just the way that they feel, like the way that it makes you feel when you see them is just so intense. Look at that. Oh, that's so beautiful. I really think that this is going to make a good match as well. I'm so pumped about this, man. And last but not least, this Somnia Tarot. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Everyone is seated. The integrity with the Page of Wands, the Queen of Coins. It's like everything is just, it just fits, man. It just fits. Oh my goodness. Isn't that beautiful? That is stunning. Just gorgeous. I just can't put into words how excited I am when I find an oracle like this, the same way that Coastal Curiosities made me feel, where I could probably pull out another 3 for sure. 3 more decks that this will also go with and feel with. Like I put out there when I was talking about Coastal Curiosities, I was like, I'm just putting out into the vibes just like some really good oracles that I can, you know, connect with and use with most of my collection. Because as we saw, if you watch my collection videos, like I have an aesthetic. We all do. You know what I mean? So when I can find something like this that just fits with so many of my decks, and it corresponds, and it gives me this like really gut reaction. I get super excited. So I know that there are a lot of goddess decks out there. I would love to hear your thoughts on this one. I really feel like, above all, I have not felt this kind of gut reaction from a goddess deck before. Like, it was such an immediate connection. And you know, I watched our lovely Lisa Papez. I watched her open this and go through it, and I was like, oh wow, that looks really interesting. Matter of fact, I had even wrote it down. It was kind of on my list, and I was like, it intrigued me, right? But like, I was watching it and working at the same time, so I caught bits and pieces, and I was like, oh, I'm really gonna have to check this out. And when I took the time, when Lisa, the artist, Lisa Levart, messaged me, and I watched her little video on the deck and about her art, I immediately just felt a click, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I slept on this. Like, I can't believe I didn't pay attention at first, because I think I would have immediately bought it if I did. And that's kind of what happens when you just have things on in the background. It's like, sometimes you miss these amazing things that kind of get put into our faces. So I'd really love to hear what you think about this deck. What do you think about this compared to other goddesses? You know, I thought, oh, well, there's no goddesses on here. I wonder how I'm going to kind of connect them with who they're, you know, who they're representing. But I really do love the way that it's done, where it's in the book, where I don't feel like I have to only use it in one particular way. Like my other goddess oracles, I feel like I have to use them. And not that I have to use them in that way, but like I feel like first and foremost, when I grab them, I'm literally looking for, what goddess am I connected to right now? What energy am I connected to right now? What do I need? And I use them more as a marker on my altar, or, you know, something that I pull and the energy I just kind of dive into. I feel that they're goddesses first and an oracle after, whereas this I feel is an oracle first and a goddess after, if that makes any kind of sense. So I'm really interested to see how this really plays out in my practice, and I think that's why I connected with it so much, because it is first and foremost about the energy that's being presented to you versus the goddess that's being presented to you. So I'm really excited to work with this deck, to pair it with all of these decks and see what other matches that I can find. And so I'm just ready to really dig into this. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. As always, the links are going to be down below in the description as to how to get your copy of the deck as well as the book. I'll put both of those links down below, as well as all of my links, my Instagram, my Etsy, how to book a reading, 3 Fat Readers, Pear Tree Court. Right now, Mystic Masters is in the process of a bit of a revamp before we go on to the second edition. So keep an eye out for that as well in the next coming months. And we will talk very soon. I'm sending you all my love. Mwah! Later, Gators.